My name is Keyon Sprinkle. I was in prison for 20 years for a crime I didn't commit. I was a kid at the time. I couldn't fathom that there was a plausible option where I could actually be convicted for something I didn't do. And God wouldn't let that happen to me either. So I just gotta tough it out and the truth is gonna come out. That didn't happen. I told the police I was innocent. In fact, an officer said to me, you know, they felt that I was innocent, but they felt like I knew enough information where I can give them information, and if I didn't give them information, then I was gonna be the person that was gonna be in prison. And I had no information to give them, and I was the person that went to prison. When the guilty verdict came down, they said guilty, and everything went in slow motion. My body was super hot, but it didn't move.
Keyon was 19 at the time, and he had just been convicted and sent to jail for the rest of his life. There was no possibility of parole.
I wrote letter after letter. I went to the law library and I went to the legal book and I looked for lawyers and I wrote probably 300-400 letters.
I first met Keyon Sprinkle a little over a week after the charged murder. He had a strong alibi. Nothing shook me from the initial strong feeling that he was innocent.
It was the first case where we at the Innocence Project decided to take a case that wasn't DNA-based. These facts were so clear it was as good as science.
And I started this 18-year quest.
I'd really considered Peter like a legit uncle. This man been in my life since I was a 17-year-old child. Went to trial with me knowing that I didn't commit the crime. I lost. No longer had jurisdiction in my case and still worked pro bono. The whole way, Joe came and sat down with me, and after that, he was like, I'm gonna work with you, even though this case is clearly not a DNA case.
It seemed like a compelling case that there'd been an injustice, so it seemed like there was a chance to get something wrong right.
So the first time I spoke to Keyon Sprinkle was in 2009. I really just became friends with him. And so I wasn't just fighting on behalf of a client anymore. I was really personally invested in fighting on behalf of a friend.
Chad has his own way of doing things. And so Peter didn't know, like, is this dude just brilliant as hell? Or is he just like, quack? But he's really brilliant, And then Ashley came in.
So Keyon is undoubtedly just a very smart person. And I would also say he's definitely just a very strong person, mentally and spiritually.
Me and her started having a good relationship, and I would call her. That's not even talking about Rick Hamilton. That was like my uncle, rest in peace.
When Richard was working on the case, it was all he could talk about, because he was quite convinced that Keyon was not their man. So he was not leaving any stone unturned.
He cared deeply about it, far more than any other case I'd ever seen him involved with. He really felt a great deal of compassion and genuine love for Keyon.
It was really clear how close he was with my dad. He'd call him Uncle Rick, and that was very, it was very touching.
He's a great role model. He's just a great man, all in all, and that's just his personal self. I genuinely love him. And when it came to his work ethic, I feel unmatched. When I finally got my time in court, I told myself, I said, you know what? I have faith, and it prevailed.
So when Keyon was finally freed, it's kind of an indescribable feeling. Just seeing this joy and the relief in his family, just how grateful they were, that we kind of stuck with this case for so long. It was just an incredible feeling. When
I finally was able to get the cuffs off and be back connected with my family, I didn't know, who do I hug for? What do I do? I was kind of like a deer in the headlights, and then everyone ran to me and they just grabbed me. It was just euphoric. I was just in a moment.
The It's one of my favorite days of my professional career, and it's up there among my favorite personal days as well.
The real award is that Keyon's free, and I think that's what my dad would care about.
That was the most important case to him in his career. It meant more to him than anything else that he worked on.
It was a very gratifying time to be able to take an imperfect system and have it make a correction, and to have contributed to that is a great sense of satisfaction, I think, by the whole team.
Well, I love him, and I think he loves me, and just think we're going to have that relationship for the rest of my life anyway.
For my future, something that I look forward to, this is going to sound crazy, like just life. My dream that I dreamt about, been home for 20 years. There's no place I can go to that's gonna give me a better feeling than when I walk in my house. And for the ones who's really fighting for people that's like me, just keep to it. You know, hopefully other people see this and be inspired or not gonna give up hope.